Welcome back to this next episode of Building Brighter Futures. Today, I have a special guest with me who is going to help us address the dilemma of when to send our child to school or not when they wake up feeling a little bit out of sorts. So I'd like to welcome our guest. This is Miss Angie Foster, and she is the Director of School Health for Raleigh County Schools here in Beckley, West Virginia. Welcome, Ms. Foster. Thank you for joining us.
And thank you for inviting me.
Okay, Ms. Foster, our first question for you is this. What does a parent do if their child wakes up in the morning, they have a little temperature, maybe complaining of nauseousness, and maybe that awful diarrhea? Should parents send their children to school or not?
That's a good question. If your child has a temperature above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, your child should stay home until he or she is fever-free for 24 hours without the use of fever-reducing medications. Those medications can be Tylenol or Motrin. And the other case is if you take them to the physician can determine how long your child should stay home and when to return to school. The general rule for a fever is really determined by if it's a virus or a bacteria. If it is a virus or bacteria, your child may have to stay home additional time and be out of school a little bit longer. But your physician's going to determine how long your child should stay home and will give you an excuse for them to return back to school. Now, if it's vomiting or diarrhea, it's the same general rule that they should be out for 24 hours after the last episode of vomiting or diarrhea. And again, your physician will determine if your child should stay home any longer and the return date to school. So basically, if they have any of these things going on at school, the school nurse or the school staff will contact you so that they can be picked up from school.
Thank you so much for that information. I guess the general thought here would be 24 hours fever-free or vomiting and diarrhea-free for parents to remember, yes?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
24 hours is the general rule.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. School has just gotten started. Mm-hmm. Germs are everywhere right now. What are some general things we can do to help keep our children safe and healthy at school?
Well, we would like for all of our children to have a good night's sleep at home, healthy food, exercise, plenty of fluids and water. At school, the things that we can do as school nurses is that we can encourage them to have good hand washing, use hand sanitizer, cough or sneeze in their elbow or into tissues, and if they do cough or sneeze in their elbows or use tissues, then again, wash hands frequently. And we also encourage them to not share their water bottles, their food with their friends.
Sometimes when we teach sharing all day long, that can be a hard lesson, especially for our little ones. But parents, it is nice to remember these easy tips to keep your child healthy during the day. Washing our hands is the most important of all of these. So as all of us enter into cough, cold, and flu season, let's all take note and make sure we wash our hands with soap and water. Thank you so much, Ms. Foster, for joining us on this episode. And once again, parents and families, we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Building Brighter Futures. Thank you.